Water conservation. Water is all around the world, and nearly 70% of the world being made up of water and only 30% covered by land. With that great percentage of water to land, why are we seeing shortages of water around the world? Well, let's put it in perspective. Let's take all the water in the world and bundle it up into a ball. That ball would be roughly the size of the Midwest. Now, let's take only water that humans can use, fresh water, and bundle that up into a ball. That ball would be just about the size of the state of Kansas. All the water that the humans use, the size of Kansas, that's crazy to think that, but it is true. There are three things that the United States has been doing recently to try and help conserve water. I believe that these are some of the best ways to conserve water. We need to further our research in that area of water conservation and try to find new techniques. We need to get the government on board and have more funding for the area. That will help us to get better water conservation efforts too. We also have new technologies and new techniques to conserve water. We need to start applying those techniques. With the research that we do, we currently find that there are several new ways to conserve water. One of which can be the public, reaching out to the public and getting them on board to cut back. In the Journal of Energy and Engineering in April of 1998, Shander Monsaber and Barry Linner, both members of the American Society of Civil Engineers, did a study, and in that study they also defined water conservation. Water conservation can be defined as any action that reduces water use or loss in which the resources used to generate the savings have a lesser value than the resources saved. What that is saying is that we have more water used and you need to have more savings for it to be called water conservation. Now, what we need to do with our research is that we have shown that we need to upgrade our old appliances. We need to get into our new techniques and new technologies. That is a big part of what we can do. One of the biggest things that we found also with research is that we need to conserve more energy. Energy consumption actually is a big part of using water. Think about all the things that we use in our homes that use energy, and then think of all those things that have water also. Our faucets actually use water because we have the water heaters, we have water softeners in many homes. Showers have lots of things with the hot water we use too. This is a big deal in the United States today, and we need to start conserving because right now it is more important than ever. We need to get some government funding to also better water conservation. Government funding can help us to better the United States because there are several things that they can get that we cannot as a society. A reporter for the Huffington Post, Will Rogers, wrote an article on February 2nd, 2015 on a government-funded conservation project. In this, he described that there are many ways to get funding for this. One of the best ways is to have many government organizations, one of which is the Land and Water Conservation Fund. They have actually conserved more than over 100 natural resources and natural parks around the United States. Now, Mike Muskell, a reporter for the LA Times, tells us about some reasons why conservation has been rising in his November of 2014 article. He describes that there are new techniques out there that people are not taking advantage of. One of which is the electrical grid advancements. This is a big deal today because we have such massive power plants being used in the United States, and many of them are not up to date. We need to enhance the grid on those to make them more efficient. In the Journal of Water and Resources Planning and Management on June 2012, 3 members of the American Society of Civil Engineering, Francisco Squero, Peter Mayer, and David Rosenberg, were interviewed on water conservation efforts. They said that there were many ways to conserve water, one of which starts at home use. We need to conserve water by going and changing out our old appliances. That's a big deal around here. They use more energy, energy comes back, and that transfers into it. Another thing we need to do is have better behavioral usage, shutting off the faucet when we're not using it. When you're brushing your teeth and you leave the faucet running, that's the best example. We need to shut it off while you're not using it. Also, in a research done by Zunapeg Sheg, a hydrologist for Texas Water Resource Institute, was interviewed on February 3rd of 2015 by KRWG News. In this report, he decided that even him in a desert was seeing lots of water conservation uses, and they were fine. Water conservation is also around the world today, and everybody around the world is getting fine better than some of the places in the United States. Why can't we conserve like that? Well, it comes back to those things. We need to do more research in the area and get the public to find out what's going on. We need to get the government funding in the world, and we also need to apply our new techniques. Thanks for watching.